Hey guys, so today we're going to start our NFL Power Rankings. Now, before I start, this episode of the Power Rankings is not going to be a recap show. This is more like the starting grid for where the teams are. Like the recap show and the Power Rankings, things for every week. I feel like kill two birds with one stone here. So that's what we're going to do. We're not going to make them a separate video. We're just going to do it all in the same video, but not for this one because no real games have been played yet. So this is just the starting grid. And my predictions will come probably after this video. So let's not waste time. Let's get started. Okay, so starting at number 32 is the New Orleans Saints, which I cannot justify the Saints being any higher than this because the Saints don't have a real quarterback. Like, if Derek Carr hadn't retired, I'd probably be a little more high on the Saints. If Shedeur Sanders was drafted at number 9 by the Saints, I'd be a little high on them. But instead, they're left with Tyler Shuck and Spencer Rattler. Tyler Shuck looked bad in camp, like real bad. Spencer Rattler's not much better. And now Spencer Rattler is starting against my Cardinals in week 1. I don't see New Orleans winning that many games at all. I just don't see it. And I could even see them going 1-16 or 0-17. Realistically, I think they could be the worst team in football. But we still got 31 other teams to go. So let's see. Yeah, let's go to number 31. Number 31, Indianapolis Colts. The Colts. Daniel Jones over Anthony Richardson. Personally, I don't trust either of them to win, especially after last year. I don't think the Colts are a good team. They have weaknesses that probably just can't be solved right now. And they could if or they could wind up being a good team, but a lot of people think the Colts are in the 7-9 win range. I think they could be 4 wins or lower, or they could be bottom tier just like the Saints. I don't see them winning very many games at all. So yeah, Indianapolis, I don't think this is going to be a very good year. Let's go to number 30. Number 30, Cleveland. Now, Shedeur Sanders made the 53-man roster. He's not starting week 1. Let's get this hair off my hat. Yeah, he's not starting in week 1, which is a little weird to me because why? Because, he impressed me in camp. Dylan Gabriel was pretty good, too. But, Joe Flacco is, okay. Flacco brought the Browns to the playoffs a couple years ago, so not too angry with that. They trade Kenny Pickett to the Raiders. I don't know about the Browns quarterback situation. If there was one clear choice, I'd be a little higher on them, but they could still be decent. I could make more of an argument for the Browns being okay rather than the Saints and the Colts, because I think the Saints and the Colts are horrible teams right now. Well, that might be a little bit of a stronger word. Or, they're not great. Well, I think the Browns are a little bit better at the quarterback position. And they still don't have weapons around them. But and yet, and at defense, they're 100 times better. So, yeah, but still, they're not a good team. And they're at number 30. Starting at number 29. Oh. I had to think about this mostly the rest of the way. Because there are a lot of teams that are in different tiers that could end up at one end of the spectrum or the other. But I am not liking what the Miami Dolphins are doing. Miami is... Miami. I mean, if Tua stays healthy, I could probably see him pushing for a playoff spot. But I don't think that... I don't know if he's going to stay healthy. Zach Wilson, I mean, it's okay. For a backup, but I don't think he's going to win many games. It's like, there's something missing with Miami. Their receiving core is going to be good. But, like, we all know, Miami's receiving core is going to be very good. But I don't know. I don't know what to think about it, so... Yeah, that's why I have Miami number 29. Number 28 is the New York Jets. I don't have the Jets doing much better. Here. Like, I think bringing in Justin Fields was a good move, but once they get rid of their owner, they're going to start winning. And because, like, Woody Johnson is relying on Madden to determine which players make the Jets, and that's just not right. It's like, it's just a video game. It has nothing to do with what is on the field. Like, watch film from him actually playing, and he should probably be on the Jets. I mean, Garrett Wilson is somewhat of a wide receiver, but the man has no help. And what do I say about... I mean, their defense could be pretty good, but I don't know. I don't know what to think of the New York Jets. That's why they're number 28. Number 27. And thinking about this now, this might be a little low. But the Jacksonville Jaguars, I don't think will start very well as why they're this low. Like, Jacksonville, on paper, has a good roster. And they have the talent to back up what is said on paper. They brought in a new head coach in Liam Cohen, which I think is the right move. Like, taking off Tampa's offensive coordinators would probably work. And I like them moving up from draft slot number 5 to draft slot number 2 in the first round. Taking Travis Hunter, I think he's going to be special because he can play on both sides of the ball. I hope he doesn't get injured. Like, I want to see Travis Hunter succeed. He's a generational talent. And, like, I think Jacksonville could be very, very good if Trevor Lawrence lights it up. Obviously, that's what I'm worried about with Jacksonville. Otherwise, with the Texans' offensive line worries, and if I didn't worry about Trevor Lawrence, I could have them second or first in this division. But it's like they're 27th for now, but if they start winning early, they'll climb up the board really fast. Number 26, and I might sound biased, because you guys already know, I don't like the Seahawks. And, like, it's just a rival. But what they did this offseason truly baffled me. Like, sure, I'm happy that my most hated team is losing players. But from an analyst standpoint, from analyzing it, but it's also kind of like, what are you doing? Like, so you win 9 games a couple years ago. You win one more game the previous year. You improved technically. And you just want to throw away two of your three good receivers and your quarterback. Like, I don't understand it. Well, I know they didn't win the division, and they probably should have, because they beat the Rams in Week 18. I mean, like, I don't care for the other tiebreakers. I think head-to-head tiebreaker should go above all tiebreakers. That's my opinion. But let's say, in hypothetically, that they do win the division. And you still were in the running, no matter what, and you throw away half of your offense that helps you get there in the first place, and you replace it with Sam Darnold and Cooper Kupp. I mean, Sam Darnold had a good year in Minnesota, and I think he chose Seattle. But I don't see it working out. Like, their offensive line worries me for Sam Darnold. Like, they don't have a good offensive line. I mean, they drafted... who did they draft? Jalen Milroe was the quarterback Seattle drafted. I had to remember his name there for a sec. And they drafted Gray, is able to help with the offensive line, and it probably will, but one man cannot do it himself. Now, this is why I have the Seahawks not doing well this year, but I could easily be wrong on this. Number 25 is the New York Giants, and you guys know I wanted to put them higher, but they have arguably the toughest schedule. Them and the Vikings. But they have somewhat of a weaker team. Now, Malik Neighbors is going to be very fun to watch. Don't get me wrong. Malik Neighbors, he's probably one of the funnest guys to watch. Which is probably the reason Giants fans now would turn on their TV. And I like Jameis Winston. I think Jameis is going to be a fun quarterback. Like, I like that guy's personality. Like, his stats aren't the best, but like, he's a good backup. And he's just a fun personality to be around. And I think he's going to bring happiness to the locker room. Like, I've liked New York's quarterback room this year way more than last year. And everyone would probably agree with me on that. But they just have hard schedules, why I can't put them any higher. So, like, if they had an easier schedule, I'd probably say they could push for a playoff spot. And they have the roster that they can do that. Drafting out dual card. Their defense is going to be scary, but they're missing a couple of weapons, and they have a hard schedule. Oh, that's what's holding New York back this year. I still think they're going to be better than the team they put forward last year. But who knows? Number 24 is the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I'm recording this after the Micah Parsons trade. I'm sure you guys saw that short I posted on my channel. I was mind blown on that it actually happened. But the writing was on the wall. I go through it a little more in that short, so go to there if you want more of the information. But I am not liking the way Jerry Jones is running the team. Like, if Dak can stay healthy, they'll still be a bit better. And I like bringing in George Pickens. I think that makes CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens probably one of the best receiver duos in the league. But like, the Micah Parsons trade, like, that could tank the whole season if the Cowboys are not careful. Well, the whole operation could sink right there. So this is why I'm not very high on the Dallas Cowboys. Or it's like, would I like to see them win? Yes. As I want to see Dak win a Super Bowl. But do I think they're going to win with the front office that they have? I don't think so. It's the same thing as the Jets. I mean, I'd fire Jerry Jones, the GM, before I'd fire Jerry Jones, the owner, but Jerry Jones is not going to fire himself. So the Cowboys are kind of stuck in no man's land. And it's just not great, but let's go to another team. Number 23 is the Las Vegas Raiders. I wanted to put them higher, just like the Giants. Because bringing in Geno Smith, drafting Ashton Genty, Jacoby Myers, Amari Cooper, there's some pretty good talent. And the existence of Brock Bowers, which might be... He's a top 5 tight end in the league, just off of his rookie year. He's one of the top 5 rookies. He's for sure from last year. Like, former rookies, he'd be like number 1 or 2 on that list. But the Raiders, they just have a hard schedule. Well, they have the rough schedule. Oh, like I don't know if they're gonna be good. The roster construction and changing the head coach from was it Josh McDaniels last year? I don't know, cycle of Raiders head coaches. But it's Pete Carroll this year. And he was a good head coach in Seattle. Oh, and he's going to be a good head coach. Pete Carroll and Geno Smith, I mean, it's not going to be pretty every week, but they have a hard schedule, and they play in the best division in the AFC. So, I can't really put them any higher than I did in the predictions video, which is like 6-11, 7-10, 4th place. Like, I wanted to put them over the Chiefs just because I think the Chiefs have won too much. But I still have to think logically here. That's why I have the Raiders a little low. But if the Raiders get off to a good start and if they get winning, I could easily see them shooting up the rankings. Alright, number 22 this time. Starting here. Tennessee Titans. Now, I'm a big Cam Ward believer. I really am. But I feel like there are some holes in the roster. A lot of people are hating on the Titans offense. This Titans offense is not that bad. And I mean, I'd be a little shocked if the Titans offense wound up better than the Texans, but it could happen. Even the Texans or the Jaguars, but it could happen. And because they got the right signal caller, and they have Tyler Lockett. He was good for like 10 years in Seattle, so who knows? Well, Tennessee could be really, really good, or they could also be really, really bad. And there are a number of ways this could go. Oh, for the Titans. Number 21. I've got the Carolina Panthers. It's similar to the Titans. Panthers' offense is getting better, but I worry about both the Titans and the Panthers' defenses. Because... yeah. I'm just a little worried about Carolina, their defense, and if their offense takes a step back, they might not be as good as I think they will be. I think Carolina is going to progress forward this year. I didn't think of that last year, and they did. They were still 5-12, but they were a good 5-12, especially towards the end. So, yeah. That's why I have the Panthers at number 21. Number 20, and I think this is going to be quite controversial. It's the Minnesota Vikings. Now, the Vikings. They had a really good year last year, but I am not sold on JJ McCarthy just yet. That's why I have them so low and have, with the 5-12 record, such a bad record, because they had the second hardest schedule in the league outside of the Giants. They have a hard schedule and a hard start. They're one of the most difficult schedules, and I don't know how the quarterback play is going to be. Hey, I know quarterback isn't the end-all be-all, and Minnesota has one of the best rosters in the NFL, but it doesn't. Most of your roster, your offense doesn't work if your quarterback is not good or just doesn't show up, and that's what I'm worried about with Minnesota. I could easily be wrong. They could go like 13-4, 10-7, anything above where I have them, and I could look like an incredibly stupid fool. But they do this 1 year on, 1 year off thing, or so it's claimed, and I think this is going to be an off year because it was an on year last year. But if JJ McCarthy's really good, then I could be wrong. Number 19 is the New England Patriots. I have loved what the Patriots did in this offseason. And reshuffling mostly the whole roster. Bringing in Mike Vrabel as the head coach. They did everything except get rid of their quarterback. Because, well, what it was before was not great. I mean, it is way better now. Stephon Diggs, exit wide receiver. Travion Henderson at running back. The Patriots are going to climb back in the next year or two. So, watch out for the Patriots, guys. Number 18 is the San Francisco 49ers. Now, the Niners have the easiest schedule in the league. This is not why they're down here. It's because they've had a somewhat of a noisy camp, and they didn't look that good in their preseason game. Well, except against the Chargers. But they're not as dominant as they were, say, going into last year. And even like the first quarter of last year, or they were pretty good. Well, no, I wouldn't say the first quarter. More like the second quarter of last year. But the Niners were good in games last year. I'm not seeing that with San Fran and this year. I just don't see it with the Niners. Or like their injuries is a bit of a noisy camp, so noisy camp was a little bit worrisome. So yeah. Number 17 is the LA Rams. Now, Stafford has some back concerns is why they're down here. But I also see that they have a hard schedule as well, and I don't think they're going to win and say against Baltimore or Philadelphia. Those might be the two hardest games on their schedule. They might lose some other games. Like the Texans, I think, will beat the Rams, but who knows? I could be proven wrong on this. I could be. I could also be proven right. Alright, so yeah, the Rams, number 17 for me. Number 16, and this is due to roster stability. We've got the I put the Atlanta Falcons here. Mainly because I feel that the Falcons roster is more stable than the Rams or the 49ers roster. Like, they know what product they're going to roll out. Is it going to be good? Somewhat. They know they have talent is there. It could either be good talent or bad talent. Atlanta's playing it risky, but it might pay off. And I think the Falcons are banking on the chance that Michael Penix will pay off. I still think they're going to have a winning record, but I don't know if they're going to do much more than that. The NFC is top-heavy loaded. That would have sounded insane last year. But it is heavily loaded with good teams. And I almost wanted to put the Falcons in. They're one of the 9 teams in the running. And for me, was one of the 9 or 10 teams in the running for me with only 7 spots. So, odds to give. So, this is why I have the Falcons so low. Number 15. And I am going to get hated for this. The Chiefs are at number 15. And now, Rashee Rice suspended for 4 games. Travis Kelce didn't light it up last year, but I mean, he is engaged to Taylor Swift now, so what do I mean? I'm happy for the couple. That's all I'm gonna say. Hey, but Patrick Mahomes didn't light it up last year. That was with but you can still win schedule. They have a hard schedule. Outside of the NFC East and North, the Chiefs have a hard start to the schedule. Easier at the end, but if the Chiefs start really bad, I'd say they at least need to go 4-5 to even consider running for the playoffs. Because there are a lot of games near the end that I think the Chiefs will win, but it's at the start. Let's look at the first the weeks before the bye. You have to play the Chargers, Eagles, Giants. I don't think it's going to be a problem. The Ravens, the Jaguars, and who else? The Lions, the Raiders. There's in week 7. That might be okay. The Commanders and the Bills all in a row. And even the Raiders are no slouch. So, yeah. Kansas City needs to win at least 4 or 5 of those games to even be considered. I don't think they will. I think those are just way better teams if Patrick Mahomes doesn't light it up. Alright, number 14, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, they bring in Aaron Rodgers. What's the big deal in that? And I mean, Aaron Rodgers. It's 4-time MVP. But, yeah. But, I mean, the roster, they're not filling it up with, light-the-lamp pieces. They're not doing that. And you need to do that to move the needle if you're Pittsburgh. So, yeah. What do we do here? So, yeah, that's why I'm a little worried, but I still, for some reason, have the Steelers in the playoffs. For the 7th seed in the AFC, I just let the predictor engine that I was running spin, and it spit out the Steelers. So, yeah, even if they wound up at 7th seed or missed the playoffs, the best they do is 7th seed, 9-8, 10-7. They'd still have to go against a team like the Ravens or the Bills. So, or even the Broncos. So, yeah. I mean, go for a 9-8 season, I guess. Number 13. Here's where I have a little more, way more upside of the teams from mostly here on out. I got the Chicago Bears here. Now, the Chicago Bears, they had a decent offseason, bringing in Ben Johnson as their head coach, getting Joe Thuney on the offensive line. The offensive line and the coaching was horrible last year. We all remember Matt Eberflus not reading the clock on Thanksgiving against the Lions, right? Not calling timeout. Yeah. Well, don't worry, Chicago. Bad man's gone. Ben Johnson's in. And I like the hire. I mean, he was very good with the Detroit offense. Like, there's still some weaknesses. This is not going to be the best roster. But if they could just get like a winning season and out of this at least, I'd consider that a win for the Bears. I'm sure Bears fans consider that too. Number 12. And if you had told me I was going to do this a month ago, I would put this team a lot higher. But it's the LA Chargers. The Rashawn Slater injury. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work out, if it's not going to work out. I'm uncertain with that. Yeah. But, you know what I am certain about is that they're still going to be a playoff team. And there are not many playoff teams for me to consider that could actually make it in the AFC. So the Chargers are probably going to stick again to the playoffs. So, yeah, but I'm just worried about Rashawn Slater, Najee Harris. This offense might not be electric against it would have been with these two healthy. Number 11, and this team has less injuries but more offensive line problems. The Houston Texans. Now, I think Houston's way better than anyone else in their division, so it's rightfully theirs. But I don't know. CJ Stroud had a sophomore slump. I think he's going to be better this year. And even if he's like a few inches better than he was last year, the Texans will still win the division for sure. Or because Houston's way better than anyone else in that division. And it helps when you're playing the worst division in football. No, I do not consider the NFC South the worst. But yeah, I think Houston's CJ Stroud's going to have a good year, and it's going to lead the Texans to victories. Top 10, though. Number 10. I've got the Arizona Cardinals. Now, call me crazy for putting even the Cardinals and the Bears and the Chargers over the Chiefs. But I see more upside, more effort, or more competence and in the Cardinals alone, and more upside in the Cardinals alone than I see the Chiefs. I see the Chiefs and the Seahawks combined. Well, the Chiefs didn't really have to put in effort, but it's more like, I don't even know what I was saying there. But I still think the Cardinals have an easier schedule, fourth easiest schedule in the league. Marvin Harrison Jr. and Kyler Murray are going to have monster years. We added Josh Sweat and Calais Campbell on the defense. And we didn't hold them. They didn't get holdouts. They signed straight away in March. And they were ready to go. Like, we're ready to go. Week 1, we're not slowing down. We're winning the NFC West this year. But there are 9 other teams that I think are better than the Cardinals. I would have loved to put the Cardinals at 1. But I think the Bengals are better than the Cardinals just because their receivers are a little better than ours. Like, they have Jamar Chase, Mason T. Higgins. Marvin Harrison Jr. is still good. He could probably compete with him, but I still think they'd best him. And Joe Burrow would best Kyler Murray. There's no contest about it, and I'm okay with that. I can get used to the fact that Joe Burrow is going to be better than Kyler Murray. Hey, the Bengals re-signed Trey Hendrickson, Shamar Stewart. Shamar Stewart got his rookie deal done, but Trey Hendrickson's only staying for a year. And who knows? He might stay longer if the Bengals are good. And they don't do this holdout thing like they did last year. Like, eliminate the off-season drama, sign your best players. Like, they got to it eventually, but the road they took to get here was unnecessary. It was very unnecessary. And, well, if you can fix that, fix the unnecessary parts of getting deals done, everyone will look at you as a Super Bowl contender. Not done. So, but number 8, getting into the top row. Number 8 is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, the Buccaneers. I think the Buccaneers are a great team. Like Baker Mayfield, he loses his offensive coordinator year after year, and he only gets better. It's like Tampa Bay just might put an offensive coordinator as like placeholder that pays at this point, because Baker Mayfield runs that offense so well. And especially in a weaker division, Tampa is probably going to run away with it until someone else dethrones them fully. Tampa is going to run away with it. And so, yeah. But I feel like there's 7 teams better. Pick up the phone holder there. Number 7. I've got the Denver Broncos. Yeah. The Broncos. Whew. What a game. What a team that they've got. Well, the offense, they're lacking some receiver help. Oh, but I think RJ Harvey's going to be good. Bo Nix can make something out of nothing. And their defense with Pat Surtain, among others, that's going to be such a good unit coming in end of the season. And I think the Broncos could win the AFC West. I think they're the best team. Well, they don't have receiver help, but not really anyone else has stellar receivers either, so it kind of cancels out and works in favor of the Broncos. So, yeah, I'm picking Denver to win the AFC West. We're going to get into the top of the top. And I originally put the Packers here, but I'm putting the Lions at number 6. Just because of the Micah Parsons trade. The Micah Parsons trade for Green Bay elevates their roster a little bit. I think they could win the North. I don't know. Like, one of those games, especially coming up here in week 1, is going to be pretty good to watch. Like, if there's a game you've got to get excited to watch, it is Lions-Packers. Because those are the 2 best teams in the division. Now, Green Bay's probably success as before the season, their goal was probably second in the North. Second in the NFC North. And I think they could get first. Or it's like, shoot for the stars. And if you end up finishing second place, well, then, hey, it's pretty good. But, oh, wait, what am I talking about? The Lions. Yes, but, yeah, I still think the Lions will hold the division, but I think Green Bay's roster is a little more electric. Kind of just did 2 teams in one clip there. So we're just going to skip to number 4. And number 4, this might seem a little high. I've got the Washington Commanders. Despite their not-so-great pass rush, I still believe in Jaden Daniels. I think he's a top 3, top 4, top 5 quarterback. And I think he was the top rookie. If you ask my opinion on that, I would say he was the top rookie, followed by Brock Bowers. Because, man, was he ever good. But he just continues and continues to climb up the leaderboard and draw people's attention. Now, I know the Commanders didn't have the greatest preseason, but they re-signed Scary Terry. They shot Brian Robinson Jr., but they have Austin Eckler, so I think he's going to get a lot more carries now. And Jaden Daniels is him. And best quarterback Washington's had since, can't remember when. But yeah, the Commanders are going to be a great team. Number 3, I've got the Baltimore Ravens. And now Baltimore's a great team. And I don't have them getting the number 1 seed, but I have them going to the Super Bowl. They're a Super Bowl caliber team. Not they could probably get close to a Super Bowl. Yeah, they're a contender, but they might not make it all the way. Yeah, they'll get to the Super Bowl and lose. No, I think they could win a Super Bowl. And that's for most of the teams in the top row. I think the Baltimore Ravens could win the Super Bowl. And I think they'll be in the Super Bowl this year. The Ravens are that good of a team. 2 teams higher than them, though. Number 2, the Buffalo Bills. Now, I think the Bills roster is lacking a little bit on most every position except for quarterback, because Josh Allen is arguably the best quarterback when he doesn't throw the interceptions. And the interception rate was way down last year than it had been in previous years. There's interception rate, touchdowns up, interceptions down. He was playing clean football. And I think the interception rate for Josh Allen, it's going to stay down for good. It's going to stay down for good. So, yeah. The Buffalo Bills, they probably have the 2nd to 5th easiest schedule. 5th, 6th, 7th. They're in the top 10 of easiest schedules, and that helps a lot. Not only were you going to be the class of the AFC East already, but an easier schedule, it sure helps. I think they could go 14-3 and win the whole conference. But there's one more team that I think has the perfect roster. Number 1. Starting at the top, the Philadelphia Eagles, the defending Super Bowl champions. I think the Eagles, it doesn't matter if they lose players, because it's next man up. We don't have this next man organization. We'll trade for him. We can't trade for him. Okay, we'll get someone in the draft. Howie Roseman is the best GM in all of football. I think the 2 most consistent teams between CFL and NFL are the Saskatchewan Roughriders, Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Eagles would probably top that list. The Eagles are probably the best team in football. I don't have them winning their division, but there's only one reason to that. It's because the NFC East doesn't usually have repeat champions. And that's not saying that Philadelphia can't win it, which they can. I'm just saying that it hasn't happened for the last 20 years. That's the only reason I picked the Commanders. But no matter what they do, the Eagles are still going to be a Super Bowl contender. So that'll do it for the starting video of the power rankings. These are going to come every week on Tuesdays. And so I thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe for still more content, and I'll see y'all next time.